Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru Specialist from Subaru Prince George here. And today I have the pleasure of going through the 2025 Subaru Crosstrek Limited in the Offshore Blue with you. This is an absolutely fully loaded Crosstrek. Every available factory bell and whistle. If you're talking price point, it's not priced as high as the Wilderness because the Wilderness has a little bit more off-road prowess, a few more parts to it, but features-wise, this has more. So this is the smallest Crosstrek, or smallest crossover, sorry, that Subaru makes. It's essentially an Impreza on stilts. Obviously, there's some other differences aesthetically, but for all intents and purposes, it's the size of a small car. Now, this is powered by a 2.5-liter four-cylinder Boxer engine producing 182 horsepower, and in a vehicle of this size, it is very, very peppy, and you get ridiculously good fuel economy out of them. At the front of the Limited, in that hexagonal honeycomb-shaped grille, you've got these gray metallic wings that lead off into the headlights on either side, and I'll show you at the end of the video with them turned on. It looks very aggressive. So no changes versus the 24s. We have our LED fog lights, and they have the gray metallic fog light surrounds. Gray is kind of the highlight color on the Crosstrek Limited. It's a good looking color combo. I quite like it on the Offshore. We still have 8.7 inches of minimum ground clearance, and of course we got Subaru's full-time legendary symmetrical all-wheel drive. These are the same wheels on the Limited as they are on the Onyx. We just have the machined alloy face on those. We end up with the cladding around the wheel well, fender flare if you will, and we have some functional vents. Now the mirror caps, gray painted metallic, and we have our turn signals, our turn signal indicators integrated right there. The roof rails are also the gray metallic. So it's the highlight color. It's not necessarily very apparent on this color, but it does stand out on some of the other colors. Fuel door, rear passenger side. If the driver door is unlocked, the fuel door is unlocked. If I lock the fuel door, and I guess it would help if I pulled the right key out of my pocket, you'll see pin shoots out, and that locks into the corresponding hole. When I click unlock, the pin disappears. Very, very handy. So when it's locked, it doesn't open. Unlocked, it opens. I do really like this style taillight. So these were integrated in the 24s and comes across to the 25s. And I love the color combo. I love how it reaches around, wraps around with the reflector. I think it's a great looking taillight, and actually my favorite view of the new Crosstrek, not counting for Wilderness models, is the rear three-quarter view. I think it's a fantastic looking car. In the rear bumper, we also have functional vents with reflectors. We've got backup sensors integrated into the rear bumper. They're color matched to the body, and they'll actually apply the brakes if it thinks you're gonna hit something in reverse between speeds of 1 and 15 kilometers an hour. Now, to open this, right between these two stars, little rubber switch at the bottom here. No power lift gate in the Crosstreks, but if your key's on your person and you click it, it'll unlock. And there's a surprisingly large amount of storage in the back of the Crosstrek versus what people think there's gonna be. You can fit quite a bit of stuff in here. Halogen cargo light will shut off when you close the hatch. We've got cup/bottle holders for tailgating on either side. We have grocery bag hooks on either side. Nice hard mount physical tie downs at the front. And then underneath here, spare tire and tools, including the eye bolt for recovery, which I hope none of you ever need to use. We do also have these little storage cubbies on either side as well. They are hard plastic, so you gotta be careful what you put in there doesn't rattle around. Got this nice little mountain motif with the Crosstrek Easter egg in it. And then privacy cover. Hides everything from the top of the seats down. You can fold these seats down. You can see the seats aren't locked because you can see the red on either side. And you just push, and you can dramatically increase the amount of storage you've got in a Crosstrek. The privacy cover is just a telescopic piece. Simply pull and you can remove it. And I have people camp in their Crosstreks. I moved houses with my old Crosstrek. Like, there's a lot of room in a Crosstrek, way more than people expect. As we go to the second row, these seats also fold up very, very easy, one-handed, and no red, so it's locked. So if I pull, same on the other side, flips right up. You've got good headroom and good legroom, even being a smaller vehicle, which is nice. In the Limited, it's the leather upholstered interior with the orange contrast stitching. You'll notice there's even orange in the perforations, which I really like. I think that's a cool touch. Now, if you hate orange, fair enough. This may not be the one for you, but you don't really see the orange when you're sitting in it, driving it. Fold down armrest with integrated cup holders. We have very easy access to USB ports for charging. We've got matte back pocket on the back of the front passenger seat. And then we do have easy access to the latch system, the lower anchors and tethers for children. For car seats, parents will love that. Grandparents, people who do childcare. We have a textured step that Subaru wants you to use if you're loading something on roof rails on the roof. The reason they want you using that as a step and not the tire is because, one, the tire sits inside the fender quite a bit, and two, if I'm standing on it dead center and I go straight up here, I am right at the back here. Crossbars don't go back that far. That's as far as they can go back, and I'll probably end up leaning and potentially putting myself in a precarious situation or angle. I also get asked about this, more on the lighter color vehicles. That slot is what this extra side impact crash safety bar, that silver bar, locks into, and that is designed to reduce the chance of intrusion into the passenger cab in the event of a side collision, which, again, I hope none of you ever need to experience or do experience. Really easy access to the child locks, and we have a soft touch armrest with contrast stitching, a little bit of storage with a bottle holder. Super easy. Nice, solid sounding doors. They're not tinny like a lot of other vehicles. This is a proximity key equipped vehicle. This never needs to come out of your purse, your pocket, your bag, your backpack. So long as it's within 46 inches, you can lock it simply by touching the lines. There's a small audible, and your hazards will flash at the same time. And then to unlock it again, so long as the key's within 46 inches, and you can see the hazard flash there. Front door card looks very, very similar to that of the rear, except the door card itself is soft touch in addition to the armrest. The front two windows are auto. Regular power windows for the rear, and we do have window lock if you want to stop people from playing with the windows. Your power mirror adjustment is there, and we have a little bit more storage along with the bottle holder. And in the Limited, you do get the upgraded Harman Kardon 10 speaker audio system, phenomenal audio system. It is a power driver seat, including lumbar, and it's the same seating material up front, that leather upholstery that you have in the second row. But these seats are different. These seats are specifically designed for long distance driving, put you in a more relaxed position, and that results in less fatigue over longer driving days. And when you're less fatigued, you're less likely to be involved in an accident. So Subaru's all about safety. That is a passive safety feature that they've kind of included. We do also get the tilt and slide sunroof with the manual shade. Push button start with it being proximity key. Foot's on the brake, light goes green. Green means go. We have our blind spot detection indicators on each side mirror, and they will illuminate orange when someone's in your blind spot on the corresponding side. We have our heated leather wrap steering wheel, our steering wheel adjustment, tilt and telescopics on the bottom left of the steering column, which is really nice. And then on the rest of the steering wheel, we have our Bluetooth and audio controls, so you can make and take calls, control the volume of the calls and the music. We have the ability to accept calls, hang up or decline calls, issue voice commands, or access Google Assistant or Siri. Volume controls. We can switch from AM to FM to USB to Bluetooth, and then this goes through our presets. On the right-hand side of the steering wheel, we have our adaptive cruise and lane centering. Both of those safety features use these 3 black boxes, those color stereo EyeSight cameras, to look for cyclists, pedestrians, vehicles, and road lines. And on a day like today, you're not going to see road lines, but automatic emergency braking is part of that, and that saves you 10% on your basic insurance here in BC. So when I turn on the adaptive cruise, you get an image of the Crosstrek, and you'll notice that there is 4 bars ahead of it, all the way down to 1. Sorry, there was 3, now there's 4. That's the follow distance behind the vehicle ahead of you that you will follow at if you catch up while using cruise. So 4 bars at 100 kilometers an hour is roughly 150 to 180 feet behind the vehicle ahead of you. Now in the Limited, we do have those gray rimmed gauges on either side. It's a nice touch. Again, gray is the highlight color. It's very refined and classy looking. Lane centering. When you turn that on, you get an image of the steering wheel and 2 hands on it on the top right there. And I'm going to turn it on so this lane centering's there. And you got those gray lines. Now, above 60 kilometers an hour, if the EyeSight cameras can see those gray lines will illuminate the same color white as the distance markers. And when that happens, it'll actually give you gentle steering input to keep you centered in your lane. Look for a video walkthrough of that live demonstration in the coming months after the road can be seen. We do also have adaptive. We have paddle shifters. We can manually select our own gears. And if you, even with the automatic CVT, so you can downshift going down hills, you're not riding your brakes. Very, very handy. We have intelligent and sport drive modes. Sport, you go faster sooner, use a little bit more fuel, sit at a higher RPM. Intelligence for everyday driving is the most fuel efficient way to drive the Crosstrek. We have an 11.6-inch touchscreen infotainment system, and just above it, we have this little black screen, and you may sometimes get a little red light. That is the driver focus system. It's an infrared camera, there it is. And it's looking to see if you're paying attention to the road or if you're expressing symptoms of drowsiness, excessive nodding, blinking, anything like that. And it'll actually give you a little alert up here, keep eyes on road, or it'll flash a cup of coffee, say maybe you should take a break. Very, very cool. You can turn it off if you don't like it. And it doesn't particularly like polarized glasses depending upon the level of polarization. So that is something to take into account as well. Sometimes it'll shut itself off. Main portion of the screen is essentially three portions. We've got top, middle, bottom. Top portion, we've got what we're listening to, navigation destinations, widgets, and you can change these widgets around. And as simple as click, click. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you know I do them all the same. Weather's part of your satellite radio trial, and then we get access to dual function X mode, which is like 4-low in a pickup. X mode. And then deep snow and mud. Also turns off traction control and allows for excess wheel spin. So if you manage to get yourself stuck, X mode, big help for that. Main portion, center portion, physical volume and tuning knobs, which is really nice. This is the first trim level where you get TomTom powered navigation. No subscription for that. You've got that for the life of the vehicle. Radio, media, and phone tiles are pretty self-explanatory. Under apps, we have wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You do gain access to the My Subaru app after the vehicle's registered in your name. That allows you to remote start your car, unlock, lock your doors, all from your phone. Settings, car info, you can turn off the display if you don't like it. There is a second screen and you can add additional shortcuts if there was something specific you wanted. Now, when you put it in reverse, backup camera pops up, rear assist braking's on, parking sensors are on. You can see the top of the bumper so you have something to relate to. And you can clean the backup camera just by twisting the end of the wiper stalk. So not as good as having wipers on the front windshield, but still very, very handy. The lower portion of the Crosstrek screen, we've got our climate controls, and we have physical buttons on either side and can go up or down in 0.5-degree increments, or simple as clicking on the screen. We can sync it back to driver controlled. Really easy to do. Control where you want your airflow, if you want AC on, max AC on, fan strength buttons. It's all very easy to use. Heated mirrors, back window, and windshield wiper de-icers right there. Then below that, we have 2 USBs, an auxiliary, and a wireless charger. It is a 10-watt wireless charger, and your phone's going to get a little warm while charging. That's normal, par for the course, nothing to be concerned of. Automatic CVT with manual mode. I do like this synthetic shifter boot that they have here. I know it's unnecessary, but it is a nice touch. This, ergonomically, does feel very nice in the hand. I know that's something small, but it does feel good. You don't hate it. It's not sharp. It just feels good in the hands. Of course, your mileage will vary depending upon the size of your hands. Heated seats, high and low for both driver and passenger. Heat up super quickly, even with the leather. Park brake is up to turn on, foot on the brake, and push down to turn off. We have our offset cup holders with our drink raisers. Great if you have small or medium drinks. Pull that out if you've got large or extra large beverages. 12-volt power point, a little bit of storage in there. And then we have a soft touch armrest with a decent amount of storage in there. Up top, SOS and roadside assistance buttons. And that'll go green when the system is enabled, and that's through the My Subaru Connected Services trial. Then we have our sunroof controls, tilt and slide, and it is just a manual shade. Then on the sun visors, vanity mirror with light, and you can fold it across and pull that extender out, keep the sun off your face if it's directly to your left or directly to your passenger's right. So that is a very quick look at the 2025 Subaru Crosstrek Limited in the Offshore Blue Metallic, powered by the 2.5-liter 4-cylinder Boxer engine, producing 182 horsepower. Now, here's a look at those smaller, more angular steering responsive LED headlights. They do also have high beam assist, and there's a look at those LED fog lights. They're ridiculously bright. Smallest crossover in our lineup. Might be small on the outside, but you've got a ton of room on these on the inside. 8.7 inches of ground clearance is more than your standard half-ton pickup, and is loaded with tech. I do recommend you have your salesperson show you how the adaptive cruise and lane centering works if you're not familiar with it, as it's an absolutely fantastic piece of technology and makes long distance driving a breeze. So thank you for sticking with me and watching my walkthrough of the 25 Crosstrek Limited. I'm Tyson, the Subaru specialist from Subaru Prince George. If you guys have any questions about this car behind me, any of the tech in it, or anything in the Subaru lineup, please put it in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys. If you're in British Columbia or willing to travel to northern British Columbia to pick up a Subaru, please reach out to me directly. I would love to help you find your perfect Subaru. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll talk soon.